Alright, well, back at it again. I'll knock some more tasks off my to-do list. First, I need to go move my dam so I can get my water going again. About halfway down there now. Try and keep this green this year instead of letting it die like I did last year. So, first things first, you put this dam in there. That way I can get all the water backed up. That way, all my siphon tubes, you can see them down there, will work. That takes about 20 minutes or so before it's backed up enough for me to use. So I'm gonna find something else to do. Well, while I'm waiting for the water to back up, might as well go check the chickens.
No, that's right.
Chickens are doing good. Oh, boy, he loves coming out there and checking them, which is a good thing. So eventually he can take over looking after them. Well, while I wait for the water to back up, and you get the 2010 back out and get it back over to my little field. So that red tractor over there, it's not liking that tiller all that much. So I'm going to see if this will handle a little better. But first, somebody left the key on. So I hook up to the trickle charger. So I'm going to make sure it starts before I get too dedicated. First crank, that's pretty good. So once I get that tractor moved, then I can unhook the tiller from it and back the 2010 up, get that hooked up. I'm a little worried though. So my 2010, it's got a mechanical PTO, which means that it's either on or off, all or nothing. And on my mower, it was busting shear bolts on me, which is kind of a pain in the ass because they suck to fix. And I can make it work if I idle it down and stuff, but it's a little touchy. But this thing has got a slip clutch in it in this housing right here. That's supposed to handle the PTO RPMs better. So I'm hoping that when I hook it up to that tractor and I kick the PTO on, it doesn't just blow the thing up. But I don't know. So I guess we'll find out. So, a bit of a snag. I had to cut the PTO down when I first got that tiller so it fit on that little red tractor. And I'm kind of worried that the shaft is not long enough to fit on the green one. So I'm going to need a tape measure and check it. Alright, so I got the one tractor unhooked. Now I need to back that thing up here. I think I might have enough PTO, but I'm not really sure. So if that doesn't work, then it's on to plan B. So, turns out I do not, in fact, have enough PTO shaft to make this work. So, on to plan B. I'm going to hook back up to that cultivator over there and try and break all that up a little bit so the smaller tractor has an easier time chewing through it. But, you know, it is what it is, and I don't feel like spending $2,000 on a new PTO shaft, so we'll have to make it work. Of course, I left the pins back on the mower, so great. Alright, well, got it all hooked up. So now let's start ripping this cereal rye up. Alright, well, I got the cultivator hooked up and going. You can see it kind of broke that strip right there. But now that's all backed up, so I should be able to get my siphons out. Floater gearing is a lot different than what I'm used to. I used wheel lines and hand lines, and this is kind of a pain in the ass, but it gets the job done. Yep, she's flowing over. That way, keep traveling down because the neighbors use water for their sprinklers and whatnot, but this system here will let me, or will make it deep enough that my siphon tubes will still work without blocking their water off. So, but fortunately this is a two-hand job, so we'll have to come back in a minute. Alright, well, got all my siphons in. See the water running. And that's about it for today. So, sun's going down and lights on that tractor aren't very good, so I'm not going to try and run things over in the dark. Anyways, I'm going to try and post more content, I guess, of the goings on here. The only problem is I don't have a very big operation, so it's not like I got hours and hours of stuff that I can record and then throw up there, but I'll try and give an update every couple of days when I do something semi-interesting. But until then, I'll be seeing you guys later.